What's up guys, welcome to my video. So today we're taking a look at some 2v2 ranked arenas on my new Demon Hunter that I made on Horde site. And basically I'm going to be climbing from 0 rating all the way to 2200. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know that my Alliance Demon Hunter is already 2200 in 2s and 2k rating in 3s. So that's all cool and all, but having high ratings is actually kind of bad this early in the season because it's really hard to find players to play with and looking for group, especially on Alliance side. So that's why I decided to make a Horde Demon Hunter, and you know, I really wanted to do this from the start. I wanted to show you guys how I climb all the way to 2200 every season, and these matches are low rating, and I'm pretty much gonna share with you pretty much everything I know on how to climb in the 2s bracket. So that being said, let's go and take a look at some 2v2 ranked arena matches, guys. Alright guys, so this first match, this is pretty much common in low ratings. It's double DPS, and actually these type comps make me really nervous because I am on a timer and they can pretty much glow with my healer pretty quickly. So for this match I'm using the one-shot build, which is just Nemesis and Chaos Blade, so I'm doing a lot of burst damage real fast. It's not a spec that I've actually talked about in any of my guides, but I do use it at lower ratings. It actually works pretty well. So here I get sapped, really surprising, but this Frosty K immediately breaks me out of it. And then I trinket a stun and I immediately pop Nemesis and Chaos Blades on him. And my Mistweaver is running Way of the Crane, so I know he's not going to die anytime soon. So I pretty much just global the Frosty K pretty fast. And I really like this build a lot, guys, because Chaos Blades and Nemesis at low rating, especially against double DPS teams, just does so much damage. So this rogue tries to get away from me, but I'm a Demon Hunter and that's not gonna happen. And yeah, so that was actually my first win on my brand new Horde Demon Hunter. Alright guys, so this next matchup is against a Frosty K and a Disc Priest, and once again I'm running one-shot build with Nemesis and Chaos Blades. But I think you could pretty much run any build versus this kind of comp. Maybe Fel Barrage would have been okay here too. Maybe even Demonic would have been alright, but at low rating I really like to run one-shot build because I want to try to end the match as fast as possible so I can move up the ratings. So here DK pops Pillar Frost. I immediately pop my Blur to counter it, and then I pop my one-shot. And actually I force Pain Suppression, which is awesome for us. And I get him super low, but Demon Hunters, we don't have any kind of an execute, we have raw damage, so I don't, unfortunately I don't get him down. So here what happens is that when you're running one-shot build, if you don't kill the target, then the only thing that you can really do is just, I like to call it like plan B, which is basically just do a lot of cleave damage, making sure that I'm applying bleeds to both targets. Anytime a team like this stacks up, I'm constantly punishing them with AoE stuns and basically everything I can do to cleave them both down. That's pretty much what Demon Hunters do. That's why whenever you face a Demon Hunter team, you never want to stack up versus them because they'll just punish you. So here my Mistweaver gets a really awesome double leg sweep, and then I get a good Fury Eladari down and just constantly cleaving him down. Eventually my Chaos Blades and Nemesis is going to come back up, and I've already forced a lot of cooldowns from these guys, but that's pretty much the general strat of the Demon Hunter, guys. Like, I know in a lot of my PvP guides you've always told me or asked me, like, what about positioning, and what's the strat as a Demon Hunter, and I pretty much just kind of laugh because, like, Demon Hunters, we're not like rogues and we're not like mages where we have to set stuff up. You basically just do damage all the time. So here once again, my Chaos Blades Nemesis comes back up, and this time I decided just to focus on the priest since he was already low, and he starts to panic, and then I get a really good stun on him, and then pretty much just finish him off. And yeah, Demon Hunters really counter Frosty Case pretty hard, and this was a really easy match. Alright guys, so this next matchup is against a Holy Paladin and a Frost Death Knight. And this is a pretty straightforward match. I'm basically just going to tunnel this Frosty K, make it really hard for him to get on my Mistweaver. And once again, I'm running the one-shot build, so I can do maximum burst damage. But I think you could pretty much run any build here, maybe like Fel Barrage or Demonic, but I think Fel Barrage would have actually been a bad idea because the DK does have a ranged interrupt, and so it would have just been wasted. So here I pop my one shot on this Frosty K, and force wings from the Holy Paladin. Unfortunately, I don't get this Frosty K down, and I don't force too many cooldowns, so I have to switch to plan B, which is just doing Demon Hunter things, making sure I have bleeds on both targets, and making sure to cleave them both down when they get stacked up. And that's one of the reasons I like this class a lot, is because it's a really standard or very straightforward class, guys. Like we don't have any kind of like setup like a rogue or a mage where we have to be setting up our damage. We basically just go all the time. And my Mistweaver gets a really awesome leg sweep here, and I was gonna get a good eye beam off, but I got stunned by this Frosty K, which is really unfortunate. So here, basically, like I said, I'm just gonna tunnel the Frosty K or whoever I think is a really good target at the time, and I mean, it's pretty much what happens in twos, especially when it's healer DPS versus healer DPS. It's basically the team that makes the most mistakes eventually just loses. And I know this for a fact that I have to make sure I'm capitalizing on their mistakes. So here, this Frosty K, he does force my blur, unfortunately, and but I mean, it does happen because they do a lot of damage. Frosty K still do a lot of damage, even though their mobility isn't all that great. But here, I continue forcing the, continue pressuring this Holy Paladin, and he bops himself for some reason, and my one-shot macro is coming up. So I know he's in big trouble, so my Mistweaver gets another really good AoE stun. I pop my one-shot with Cast Blades and Nemesis, and then it's pretty much GG. So that's what I mean about capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes. So that Paladin, he... Alright guys, what I was going to do for today's video, just wanted to show you a few ranked matches on my new Horde Demon Hunter, and like I said, I'm going to be pushing all the way into the 2200s with my new Demon Hunter, and if there are any matchups that you want to see specifically that are giving you trouble, let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely check them out. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.